Hey YouTube, Motor Racing Network, Steve Post here. Great to have you along with us on this Diecast review show. Another great collection of Diecast has rolled in from Lionel, and we are rolling it right out the door to your local Diecast dealer, or it's available at planbsales.com. You know, the theme of a lot of these Diecasts this time are winning cars, race-winning cars, and it gives us a great chance to look back at some special moments in 2014. Let's start with the All-Star race. Jamie McMurray, the Bass Pro Shops National Wild Turkey Foundation. This car was no turkey, it was in Victory Lane, and it has all of the confetti on it that shows it is a race-winning car, just in the condition, the way it looked when Jamie wheeled that car into Victory Lane, and it's autographed as well. So we have the standard finish of Jamie's All-Star winning race. We have the vintage finish of it, as well as the raw finish of Jamie McMurray's All-Star winner. Chip Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabates. Great season they had, winning that race, the All-Star race at Charlotte Motor Speedway back in the month of May. Another great car we had last year is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s. This is autographed by Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Nationwide Insurance car. The last show we showed you the 1/64 scale car. Well, now we have not only the 1/24 scale, but it is autographed by Dale Earnhardt Jr. So really good looking diecast car we have there from Hendrick Motorsports. And as you know the story, Nationwide Insurance, you'll see more of that with Dale Earnhardt Jr. as we roll into the 2015 season. Kevin Harvick scored the victory at Kentucky in the Nationwide Series with this Kroger machine, Chevy Camaro from Junior Motorsports, Dale Jr.'s team. So good looking race winning car, also autographed by Kevin Harvick. So really cool race car there. And how about this one, A.J. Allmendinger scoring the victory at Watkins Glen with this race car. This car, remember that race, Watkins Glen? A.J. Allmendinger and Marcus Ambrose just wheeling and dealing with each other. A lot of marks on the front of this race car. Scott Products, the sponsor of it. This is the one that launched A.J. Allmendinger and his JTG Daugherty Racing team into the chase. So a race winner for A.J. Allmendinger, available in stock now from Lionel. Speaking of race winners, it was Michigan in June for Jimmy Johnson with this Lowe's Cobalt Chevrolet, and this was another one of the wins for Jimmy. You know, the season didn't end well for Jimmy in the championship battle, but there was wins along the way, and this was the Michigan race winner from up in the month of June, up in the Irish Hills of Michigan. A landmark race for Kurt Busch was Dover in the fall. It was his 500th start. Yeah, 500 starts. Amazing for Kurt Busch, and this is the car to commemorate that. It was silver in paint scheme. You could see the yellow label across the windshield with Kurt Busch's name on it. So this was the Kurt Busch 500th start race, and I like this hashtag on the back. Hashtag Outlaw 500. Remember, they used that back at Dover. This particular car, another A.J. Allmendinger race car. He ran it at Homestead Miami Speedway. I know at the end of the year, but here's the reason I know, folks. Here's the reason I know. Okay, Saturday morning of Homestead. Now look at me. I love to eat, okay? We have the website, foodaroundthetrack.com, love to eat. Well, the folks from Hungry Jack's had us over for breakfast. So that's why I know it was at Homestead that he ran this race car, and A.J. Allmendinger, the Hungry Jack paint scheme on that race car, a really good car. Also had some other races that they ran with it as well. So good looking race car from JTG Daugherty Racing, the Hungry Jack color. Now, we talked about Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Nationwide Insurance car. Here's the color chrome version of that car as well. This one not autographed. The standard finish we have autographed. This one is not autographed, but it is a beauty, no doubt. The color on that color chrome paint scheme really pops on that Nationwide Insurance blue. And finally, down here in the end, we have a real special car to us. It's the David Starr car that he ran at Chicagoland. And this one has Whataburger on the side, and we love Whataburger, but on the front, we really love what we have. PlanBSales.com, and those nuts at DiecastCrazy.com, they all got involved. Everyone pooled all their money together, and were able to get on the hood of David Starr's car and have a race up at Chicagoland in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. So it is available now in the standard finish, in flash coat, and in flash coat silver. So all of you folks that are diecast crazy and you have your name on the hood of the car, they are available in stock now. If you don't have yours already, I know a lot of you ordered your car and have it already in stock or have it on your way, but we do have that available as well. So a lot of really neat things with the diecast, and really when you think about it, whether it's some silly breakfast or whether it's some big win at the All-Star race, a lot of great memories with these diecast cars, and that's what Diecast is all about. All of this Diecast available at your local Diecast dealers or at PlanBSales.com. Stay with us. We've got some great questions coming up on the post show. It's time now for our favorite portion of it. It's the post show. It's where we answer your questions. Questions right down below. You can just type them in here on YouTube. We chat on these on the YouTube program here on our Diecast review show, but we're also on Twitter and on Facebook. Just look us up at Plan B Sales. We love communicating back and forth, especially when the excitement of the season is upon us. Lots of great things to talk about. A lot of great racing questions we have this time. Brandon Littell writes in and says, do you think Greg Biffle will get a win next year? And, you know, I hope so. I mean, I love Greg Biffle and what he does. His crew chief, Matt Pusha, they're a really good team together. It's just a matter of what Roush Fenway Racing can find as far as the speed department goes. They have made wholesale changes in the whole team as far as management of the team, bringing some new people in. Maybe some new people mean some new ideas, and maybe they mean some new speed. They get speed. Biffle can mash the gas with the best of them and get it to victory lane. So if they get speed, yeah, and I do think they will actually also, and I do think that Greg Biffle will get a win along the way this year. Along with that, NASCAR Go, number 19, writes in, what do you think about the future of the Roush teams? And again, it seems to be at a little bit of a crossroads here as far as the speed goes, but I'm telling you what, when you get Jack Roush backed into a corner, he comes out fighting, and I believe, from what I know over there with all the changes we just talked about, I believe Jack Roush is going to come out swinging this year. It's just, do those cars have the speed? Are they able to get the speed in it? And it's not under the hood, because the Penske cars run the same engines. Doug Yates prepares the same engines for the Penske cars as the Roush cars. It's in the chassis and aerodynamic department over there, and they have brought in some really good people to work on it. So I do think things will be better at Roush Fenway Racing this year than they were last year. Jeff James writes, how well do you see Sam Hornish Jr. doing this year at RPM? You know, talk about teams on the improve, on the incline. Richard Petty Motorsports, I'm telling you, what they have done is amazing. Richard Petty Motorsports, and this is just tie in a little bit with Roush, up until this off-season, they were right on campus with Roush Fenway Racing, but they've expanded their operation, and they've moved to Mooresville, moved a little bit away from Roush Fenway Racing, so but they still have that technical alliance with them, but if they are not just across the street, and that's literally where they were. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think the Petty team continues to get better. I think Eric Almirola can contend for wins a couple times this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Hornish Jr. doesn't as well. I think Richard Petty Motorsports, they've got some really good sponsorship and funding in place. They've got a really good internal engineering department that they've built, even with last year in their association with Roush Fenway Racing. They've gotten a little bit more independent from that, and that has shown some uptick in performance. And you bring Sam Hornish Jr. in, he is a great wheelman as well. So I really like everything at Richard Petty Motorsports. I think this is the first time in maybe 6 or 8 or 10 years with Richard Petty Motorsports you can say things are really, really rock solid for that team. And if they're rock solid, they can start moving forward and getting some race wins. So I think Hornish will do pretty good over at Richard Petty Motorsports. Jeff Fair writes in, do you think Jeff and Brad's rivalry will continue? I think Jeff and Brad's rivalry is contingent upon one thing. If they run into each other on the track again, they're going to get into each other's face again. I don't know that it's a long-term, deep-seated dislike. I'm sure they didn't spend Christmas together for dinner. I'm not saying they're best friends, but I don't know that it's a long, deep-seated dislike. I think they got together at Texas, and I think it hacked Jeff off, and I think that's what started all of this. And I think if we're running the 3rd race of the year and they get together again, I think the rivalry continues. If they run all season long and don't touch each other, I don't think the rivalry continues. So I think it's almost heat of the moment what happens with intense competitors like Jeff Gordon and Brad Keselowski. Final question is Axe Racing. Do you think Jeff Gordon will win in the 2015 season? You know, we're recording this on the day that Jeff Gordon has announced that 2015 will be his last full-time season in racing. And to answer your question, yes. I think Jeff Gordon will win. I think, what's this? This is like Chicago voting. Vote early and vote often. I think Jeff Gordon will win. I think he will win early, and I think he will win often. In fact, I really would look for Jeff Gordon even to be in contention to win the Daytona 500 to kick off the big year. And I just think Jeff Gordon's one of those guys. We all talk about that final season, wanting to go out on the grand stage, wanting your last at bat to be a grand slam to win the World Series. I'm not proclaiming Jeff's going to win the championship. We won't know that until the last lap at Homestead with this format that we have with it. But I do think Jeff Gordon's going to be really good. I based that on 2014. 4 wins they had along the way, just good across the board. Really, when you think about it, they were in the hunt right to the last turn at Phoenix when Newman muscled Kyle Larson out of the way and took that last spot. Jeff Gordon was in the hunt. I mean, he ran great at Homestead. I just think that Jeff Gordon is going to be in contention to win not one race, but a bunch of races. Now, interesting number here is he has 92 career wins. We're going to talk about Jeff all year long with his final full season, and we're going to talk about him as we get closer and closer, as long as he's contention to win that championship. I don't know if 8 wins are in him, but if he gets a couple wins early, we're going to be talking about that magical 100 win mark also. Like I said, I don't know that any team, I think 8 wins is going to be tough to come up with for anybody, but if anyone can, Gordon, Alan Gustafson, and that crew from Hendrick Motorsports, they're already motivated, but for this to be Jeff's final full season, I think the motivation meter is off the charts. So there they have it, your questions. We appreciate you typing them in down below here on the Diecast Review Show on the YouTube channel. Keep them coming. We'll keep answering and talking racing as we get closer and closer to the Daytona 500. February 22nd, won't be long now, and we'll be back with NASCAR Sprint Cup Series racing. We love that you guys are getting involved with us here on YouTube. We have the comments below. Feel free to mention your comments here. Follow us on Twitter at Plan B Sales, and we'll keep you informed on what we have. And please get some back and forth conversation going, because we love talking racing and love talking with you race fans out there, and we appreciate the business you do give us.